All right, guys, we all need goals at the end of the day, right? We all need to have a direction or a target to shoot at to be sure that we can hit it. So, well, today we're going to be talking about Pokemon goals and investing and how you could set them and become successful at it. So, stay tuned. Guys, just a reminder before we move forward, we do have that Evolving Skies pack break that is coming up on Sunday. There are 4 remaining, so if you want to jump in on that, definitely jump into the link down below. I'm also going to throw up a couple other sleeve booster packs that I had found while I was cleaning out. Of course, I'm trying to get rid of all them cardboard sleeved booster sets. I'm just going to keep a set for myself. That's it. I'm not going to keep large stashes of them anymore. They're just not fitting into my goals and my ideas when it comes down to the Pokemon investing coming forward. So I am going to be cleaning those out. I'll throw them up. Anything that gets purchased, of course, will be open on the channel. If they're not purchased on the channel, I might just open them for shorts, or I might just send them out for sale on TCG Player or maybe on Craigslist just to see what I get for them. I mean, I'm just trying to make some space and kind of refine my investment a little bit. So, and that's where this all comes down to and why this is coming up today. So when we talk about it in Pokemon investing, we need goals. And that comes down to the fact that if you just kind of throw things out there and you don't have goals, you go all over the place. And I've talked about this before. I know some people that are older in the channel have heard this before. I've done it back mid last year, maybe third quarter of last year. And if you want to, of course, you can go back and look at that video also about me talking about setting goals, how I set goals and what I look for. But today, I just want to do a general discussion on how to look at goals and why I'm looking at this more and more. And before, I always used to do goals. And as I told you on the channel, sometimes it's good to do kind of vague goals. You know, I want to become better at graded slabs, or I want to become better at sealed investing, and you want to become better at the singles markets. There's always kind of goals that you can kind of set, but you definitely want something in place. And I always tell people, when it comes down to setting investment goals in Pokemon, you need to kind of set it up based on how much you need to set up goals with multiple layers, is what I call it. You got to have an easy layer, something that you know you can hit with relatively easy work. You're going to hit it, because if you miss every single one of your goals, you're not going to try and do it. You're just going to get frustrated and you're going to walk away from it and you're going to move on to something else just because you're mad that you can't hit what you want to do. So hit some goals that you know you can hit. Know that you're going to be able to pull it off, and know that it's pretty simple to be able to do that. Set some medium tier goals. Something you're going to have to work at, something that, you know, hey, I'm more than likely able to do it if I do all of these things and stay to it. If I lose track, I might not be able to make them, but if I stay on track and I focus and I continue to do what I'm wanting to do, I will be able to hit those goals. They're very important to have that mid-tier goal that makes you work a little bit, and it gets you going in that direction, keeps you focused on that direction. And then the last ones I always like to set are what I call the hard goals. The hard goals are ones that you may not get. There's several times, even in my business, even in Pokemon investing, I don't hit the hard goals because they have to have complete and total focus to get. It's very difficult to get them. It's going to be very hard to do it. Sometimes everything's got to lay out perfectly for it to happen. And that's okay. If you miss those goals, just understand that it was something to work for. It gave you that target right there, something to shoot at and put your sights on and be able to get to it. But it wasn't necessarily going to be a hit. You might have missed left or right, up and down, but you may not have hit the bullseye at the end of the day. But at least it gave you a direction to go in and have something to move forward. So once again, these goals are very important. And I'm not going to specify them for people, and I'm going to go over what my goals are and really break them down. And it really came up because the last week has just been incredibly taxing on me, and I really start questioning some of my goals at the end of the day, especially when you're dealing with the kind of the outlook and the direction that I'm going currently. And the number one goal this year that I had set in January with my wife was, the first one was no more money coming out of our personal accounts for Pokemon. I know some people will be like, holy crap, you know, I'm not going to be able to take the $200, $300 a month that I was taking and put it into Pokemon. Not because we don't have it, but because my goal of this business has always been within 3 to 5 years to have it completely self-sustainable. Now we're at year 4, so it has to start becoming self-sustainable at this point in time in order for it to, in my opinion, continue to move forward. If not, I'm just going to kind of slow down to what I can do inside of the business anyways. I feel that it needs to get to that point. So this year's goal, of course, is to try and eliminate all of the external money coming in, which means a lot more work on my end. And what kind of work am I looking at? Well, I just went through about 15 to 20,000 cards of bulk, sorting, separating, and alphabetizing it so that I can list it on TCG Player, so that I can hopefully get TCG Player Direct and continue to list my products up on TCG Player and continue to get a constant cash flow just from that. A lot of work to try and catalog all of those cards, being sure that they're almost all near mint. I didn't put anything up that was lightly played. Everything has been stored very nicely. I'm anal retentive when I'm coming down to storage, and that's a good thing. It makes it so that it's easier to sell my product and it's easier to put it up for sale. So if you're looking for any kind of the singles in any of the sets in Sword and Shield right now and down in the Sun and Moon, I have listed my whole inventory. My inventory should be going live on Sunday. So yeah, there'll be a whole other listing of that stuff too. So we'll see how that goes. Overall, I've talked to a couple people that use TCG Player and talked about my bulk situation. You know, I've offered to give my bulk to some people and work with people for some payments on that bulk. But overall, I see a better opportunity to maybe help it fill my goals when it comes down to it. And that's why I'm going the direction I am. It's a lot more work. But overall, it's to try and fulfill my goal of buying 4 cases of every single release of Scarlet and Violet coming out here in the next year, along with 2 cases of ETBs to go with that. So that's a big taxing piece right there. On top of that, my other goal is to try and make it to at least 2 Comic-Cons. Now, I have a mid-tier goal of 1. I want to get to 1 no matter what this year. That's my goal, is to get to 1 Comic-Con no matter what this year. But my ultimate goal is to try and get to 2. So that's going to be a really interesting aspect. The other aspect is too is trying to be able to continue to fill that need and continue to move forward using what I have over here is my investment to actually try and push that forward, and using my bulk to do that, using every resource that I can to do that. And these are what I talk about with goals, guys. I have an investment goal, I have a business goal, and I have a travel goal that I am all working for at the end of the day in this business. Do I want it to be able to pay an income to myself? No, that's not my goal yet with this business. I'm not trying to take money out of it to pay for my personal time and expense. I know that some people would be trying to at this point if they're trying to make it self-sustaining. But this year's goal is to just try and make it self-sustaining. And then next year's goal would maybe take 5% of the profits and move it into my personal account for myself. You know, that these are all things that we can discuss when we get to that point. But this is where I want to talk to people about setting those goals, staying in the target for those goals, and trying to find a way to complete those goals when it comes down to Pokemon investment. Now, have I also got other things going? Of course, I'm taking some of these cards. I've got piles of cards here that I've been going through while I'm sorting, keeping some of those good VMAXs, some of those really good alternate arts, and getting them prepped and prepared to go to PSA. Right now, I have a submission of about 150 cards out to PSA. Hopefully, some of those come back as 10s. Some of them will become investments if they're 10s. I will hold on to them for long term. If they don't come back as 10s, they will be for sales. So I will be doing the sales portion of that to try and move those out to recoup that money for PSA and also bring in more income that way. So like I said, this year's videos and this year's channels are going to kind of be a mixed bag of investment videos along with business videos and how to maybe be more successful in the business aspect of it, working with the PSA grading, and then also buying your investments. Something I'm working with too is being in touch with my LGS owner that I work with. I'm trying to get them to sit down and do a video with me. I think it'd be really fun to have a discussion with him on camera, talk about the situations with what's going on in the LGS world, but also on top of that, be able to discuss, you know, how tournaments work, how they set things up, how they get information from the distributors, how they know which products are available, and when things become available. I think it'd be really cool to be able to hear the aspect from an actual LGS owner, you know, in person, in the actual light. I know Mason, you're probably watching this. We've had a discussion with Mason too on how his backing works. He, of course, has videos out on that also. But, you know, each LGS owner does things differently. There's different distributors they use. There's different contacts that they use. And it's kind of interesting to hear it from multiple LGSs at the end of the day. So I'm trying to set up an interview with him to be able to sit down and do that. So it'd be fun to actually get that done. Once again, just sit down, relax, have a discussion with him. He can go through the inner workings of an LGS, and definitely go that direction. So once again, guys, those are kind of what I want to talk about today. Just work on your goals. If you want to do one thing right now, especially with the price of Pokemon, this Pokemon market going crazy, prices getting really expensive, lack of reprints available, even Japanese products now are getting really, really expensive. Typically, I would suggest people start looking at Japanese, but even that's going really, really crazy right now just because of the lack of product here. People have evolved now in the last year or two of the Pokemon TCG since the boom, and now know, hey, look at Japanese, because Japanese is sitting there, and sometimes the quality's better. You're getting a better product. It's early, so you're getting first look at these products. And before, those used to be the OG's place to go to try and get some product and have some fun and still have the availability to move forward. And right now, even that market's getting a little bit crazy. So now's the time, in my opinion, to sit down and actually set those goals. Work at goals, work at setting them up, and try to create a atmosphere in your investment. I mean, I'm going a little bit more extreme with the business and the aspect and the creation side of things, but really make some goals for what you're doing for investing. So in investing, you could make a goal that I want to, if you're small time, buy one booster box of every set of Scarlet and Violet, and one ETB of every Scarlet and Violet set, and one Pokemon Center ETB of Scarlet and Violet. And you could sit there and set that as a goal. And maybe as an extreme goal, I want to get Japanese of each one too. That'd be a really, really interesting goal to kind of move forward on the investment side. And once again, right now the market is pretty much spray and pray. Buy whatever you want. And the way Pokemon seems to be doing it right now, they stop printing for a long period of time, booster boxes disappear, and everything in the whole world just moves up really fast because of the fact that there is no product. How long that will hold on? We don't know. We don't know any of that kind of stuff. It just depends on how Pokemon continues to perform. So overall, guys, hopefully this is a good conversation. Like I said, we'll be doing more goals. We'll be doing some PSA, returns as they come in here. We'll definitely be doing some submission showing what some of the products are coming for submission, some that are coming back. And we'll definitely have some fun, maybe doing some more box breaks this year. I definitely want to be into the community more, do more with the community, and be more in the lives and stuff. I know the end of the year, I really fell apart on the live section of it. I've been trying to do more lives here the beginning of this year, and I want to continue to do that. Also, Choose Your Path series is going to come back. I'm taking a couple week break here, probably 2-3 weeks, just to reorganize, get the next group of people all lined up, get everything set up. But we will be doing the Choose Your Path. I think it's probably going to come in probably 5-week increments. I'll do 5 weeks of them, and then I'll probably do a 2 to 3 week recoup in between. Number one, it helps my channel's algorithm to just get back to the actual videos, the standard short form videos. But it's also good for me to be able to adjust questions, maybe do some updates on the trailers and the intros and things like that, and then also get other content creators on board and be sure that we have all the questions in place to be able to do that. So Choose Your Path is coming back. We have Professor Oak joining us. This next batch is going to be more on collectors at this point, I want to say, because right now I have Professor Oak is going to be one of the first guests, followed by Pokemon Classics is going to be a second guest. I do have one streamer that's on TikTok that is joining us also to show us how he sells and does his lives on the TikTok and Instagram forums. So once again, looking at that aspect of the business also. So there are some interesting things coming up, especially when it comes down to the collection side of the Pokemon TCG. So other than that, guys, hopefully this is a good video. Hopefully this helps you kind of concentrate on goals. It's a little bit slow on buying things, a little bit slow in the markets for an investor for purchasing. It's really hard to find those, cheaper end products to purchase. But this will definitely help you, set goals for where you want to go and how you want to get there. Gives you a little bit more clarity. Clarity is great to be able to do that and definitely get that clarification in your head for how you want to move forward. So once again, guys, hopefully some good information. Hopefully this helps you out a bit when it comes down to your Pokemon journey. And if it does, check out one of these 2 videos over here. It's great to get more information and have more discussion. And these videos here will give you a good opportunity at that. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time here on Northwoods TCG.